This video has been, I have said it so many weeks now, like this is week 18 of prep, and I have kept saying that we were gonna make this video, and we are finally making it at week 18 for you guys. But this video is pretty much just gonna be all prep things. Just a lot of, I kind of just made a list on my notes app of just like very common questions, just all things prep basically, to kind of for us to hit. No idea how long this video is going to be. My sister's coming over in like 30 minutes, so hopefully it's less than that. We'll try to keep most answers pretty short and sweet and to the point, but not 100% sure that will happen. But yeah, so this is our just everything prep yap session. So first off, one of the biggest questions has been how prepping together has been, because there has been, you know, I think people, you know, that have maybe gone through it before and didn't have good experiences, or people who have had good experiences, or people who are wanting to prep with their significant other and just wanting to know, like, is it, like, how is it? And I mean, I think for the both of us, it's something we talk about very often, that, you know, I already did a prep by myself in 2023, and that prep compared to this one has been completely different in the best way possible, just because of doing it alongside of Cole. You know, we went into this with expectations. We knew what to expect. He saw me go through the last one. We knew going into it, it was just going to require communication, and just for the both of us too, we're very, very like chill people for the most part too. So we just, they're really, yes, there's been little like arguments that just kind of came on just because of like fatigue and agitation, but like we both at the end of the day know why that person like was acting like that. And usually our flow of energy is like the same day to day, where it's like if he's having a bad day, I'm having a bad day, but we also just like know what the other person is going through. But all in all, for us, it has been the best experience. I mean, it's been very like just so special. We've loved it, and we would definitely do it again in the future.
I would say I feel like most of our, if any, bickering arguments that we did have, we quickly realized most of the time that it was due to us just being like a little bit irritated. So then we quickly just like drawed back or like laughed, or, you know, quickly realized it was not that important. You know, a lot of things feels like a big deal whenever you're like super fatigued and tired, and in the long run it's something that's not that big. But I think the experience of just like doing this entire thing together has made it feel like a breeze. You know, we're 18 weeks total into this, and you know, the entire time we kept saying this prep feels like it's flying by, it feels like it's flying by.
Yeah.
And we kept talking about how we'd be at this position now weeks ago, and now we're finally here. And it's just so crazy to think just how quickly it has went by, just because you've got someone supporting you, being by your side through the entire thing, but also they're going through exactly what you're feeling. And even, you know, some days one of us might be having a bad day where we're just kind of, you know, super fatigued and tired. We don't really want to go do anything. The other person quickly realizes that, and
even
most
just
of the time,
like helps the person out. I mean, there's been like times that I knew he was super fatigued and he was working a 12-hour shift. He messaged and said like, you know, hey, can you get my meals ready for work tomorrow? And you know, if I was off work that day, then absolutely I'm gonna do that. Gonna make sure that the dishes are done, the house is clean, and like, you know, there's been times I'll even reach out and be like, is there anything I can do for you today to make your life easier? And we both have just picked up the slack for one another, as far as that goes. But I mean, yeah, all in all, for us, it's been a great experience, and we will 100% prep again in the future. Routine for kind of like when we work, I would just say, and I think this is more so like people would just ask like how you build a routine or like do prep with working, you know, a 9 to 5, or like Cole does, you know, a 7 a.m. to a 7 p.m. shift. And really my best advice is find what works for you. You know, if it works for you to go in the morning, go in the morning. If it works for you to go in the evening, go in the evening. Don't look at anybody else's routine. Do what works for you, because that, whatever routine you can be consistent with day in and day out, is going to be what you should do. Because in prep, that's the easiest way to go about prep, is to find a routine right off the bat that you can consistently do every single day. But it is very important that at the start of prep, or even you know, weeks before you even start prep to figure out what that routine is and what your groove is for what is going to happen when you're in prep.
I would say the routine thing, it for myself, it actually changed throughout prep, you know, as food started to go down, a fatigue hit with working 12-hour shifts. I was able to work out in the evenings some days, and then probably 10 weeks out or so, you know, I realized I'm way more fatigued in the evening. I'd probably get a better workout if I did wake up in the morning. But it's also just like planning out your day, knowing I got to get, you know, cardio done throughout your entire day of work. You got to get this amount of steps in. And it's just really setting up a goal throughout the day and kind of checking off the boxes as you go. And then the main thing for me is, you know, having a coach and of course having the support of them. And then kind of reaching out to them and being like, you know, here's my work schedule here, even with whenever it comes to foods, just saying, I think these foods work better for me to be able to get meals in throughout the day, and just kind of finding like a balance with everything and trying to just get the schedule down because it can be hectic some days.
Yeah. So next we'll talk about our shows. So we have 2 shows. Our first show is in, it's the Louisville, Kentucky show, but it's not in Louisville. It's actually in like Shepherdsville, Kentucky, I believe, but it's the Louisville Cup is what they call it. They do like a Mr. and Mrs. Louisville category that you can enter at that show. So that one is our first show on May 31st. So our first peak week starts May 24th, which is 1 week from today. So we have that one. We'll be going to Kentucky on Friday of that week, and we'll be there Friday, show day, Saturday. Our second show is in Michigan. We will be breaking that trip up because it's about a 4-hour and like 50-minute drive from us here. So we'll be driving to my mom's house in Columbus, Ohio on Wednesday or Thursday. We haven't decided. And we'll stay the night with her and then drive up to Michigan on that Friday just to break up the trip. But then when we're in Michigan, that show is on Saturday. And both of our shows on both of the show days are like everything is on the Saturday. Like there's no 2 parts to either of the shows. And that one is at Lincoln High School in Michigan. And it's the Michigan State Championship is the one we're doing for the second show. But yeah, so we don't have to do any flying or anything. It's just going to be driving for both of those. And we do have friends and family kind of like split up coming to both of the shows. Our coach will be at the Michigan show. He's from Michigan, and then his assistant coach and my posing coach will be at the Louisville one. So it is very nice that we will have at least one of them at both of those shows. Expenses for our shows, Cole got all of that kind of written out to kind of talk about, because it's a lot and we knew we would forget stuff. So yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. So I think that's one thing that a lot of people have to realize, especially with us doing 2 shows, you know, the price of traveling. And this isn't even calculating in like, you know, the food and stuff that we have to buy
weekly for prep
for
and
each
stuff.
Shows, you know, maybe different small things that we have to purchase while we're maybe in Kentucky or at Michigan. Hopefully it's not much.
So really for this, like the total is like, what is it, 4,000? What is it? Well, I'm just going to say that if you are just somebody doing one show, then you would really just like, it would be like half of what we're about to say, because what the total is for this one is for 2 shows, not just one.
Well, I'd say if you split it up correctly, you know, this includes our hotels, the entries to both shows, the tanning for both of us, our show suits, our NPC cards. Our coach had us buy Evogen products for the day of the show.
Your entry for the classes.
Yes, entry for the classes. So in total, it's around $3,000. That's for both of us, and that's 2 shows. So you just got to calculate that up for, you know, if you do one show and you're one person.
And for my first show that I did, I will say I was working a job where I was making $15 an hour, like working full time, and did like personal training and stuff. And it was still like, there was never a time that I was like struggling for money or anything. I just like, I knew that my show was in June, and in January I like started buying stuff each month. I'd be like, okay, I'll pay for this month. I'll pay for this month. So 110% don't try to wait until like the nitty gritty to buy everything. Like each month try to split it up and be like, you know, okay, this month I'll buy my NPC card, this month I will do the entry for the show, this month I'll pay for the tanning, the hair, the makeup, which you can definitely make it cheaper by doing your own hair and makeup. I know a lot of girls do that. So you can definitely make it cheaper than like what we did in a sense, but
yeah, it depends too if it's a, you know, a local show for you and it's somewhere you can just drive and not have to stay the night. But a lot of this stuff that is in this is like non-negotiable stuff that you just kind of have to pay for. And like she said, once we kind of locked into the Louisville show, we went ahead and like bought the hotel room and got that locked in because it actually sold out the host hotel, which is cheaper than any other hotel around, sold out kind of early on. So it was thankful that we got that. But it's trying to buy stuff over time and not just waiting till like the last moment and, you know, getting hit with a big bill.
Oh yeah. What we're most excited for post show to do eat
Our food.
Well, one thing we keep talking about, so Louisville, after that show, our coach is giving us a free meal. So we are going out to eat with the friends and family that will be coming to that show. We're going to a place called Cattleman's. I think it's a steakhouse. And we do plan to split a chicken wrap and a burger there, and then we will also be having buffins from Hummus Fit after that show. Coach just said nothing dairy, nothing fried, you know, and then Sunday we'll probably send him check-in pictures on Sunday morning. And then after the Michigan show, it's gonna be interesting. We're like so excited to make a YouTube on it and TikToks and everything. But Michigan is going to be, our plan is basically, you know, Saturday, enjoy ourselves Saturday night. Sunday is basically going to be like a full day for us. We're going to get breakfast. We are so excited to just walk into a gas station and get gas station treats, just something sweet, something savory. You know, we're super excited because we'll have like an almost 5-hour drive home that day. Excuse me. But yeah, we're just super excited to walk into a gas station and just like get snacks for a road trip. And then about an hour away from where we live, we plan to stop. We want to get just Cane's bread, like with the sauce. And then we love chicken wraps from Roosters. So we're going to split a chicken wrap from Roosters. And then he wants to get some from Penn Station while we're in Chillicothe as well.
Like just a deli sandwich.
Yeah. And then when we get back home, we'll probably wait about an hour or so, and then we're going to his parents' house, and his dad is really good on the smoker, and he is smoking like a brisket, burn-ins, and we're just gonna go have a good dinner with his parents, and then I'm sure that night we're still just gonna
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. And then Monday, since it'll be like our first full day at home, we still plan to just kind of have an enjoyable day on Monday. And then Tuesday is when we will officially kind of just get right back on track with everything. And then from then on out, our plan is to just, you know, do what we do in off season, where we're pretty much 100%, you know, Monday through Thursday, pretty much always. There are times on like, if we go out of town on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that will, you know, not be fully on plan Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But then too, like, depending on how everything goes, odds are we'll be locked in Monday through Friday. Saturdays, you know, eat our normal meals, and then we'll enjoy ourselves on Saturday evening with, whether it be with friends, whether it's him and I going out for a date night, and then right back on track on Sunday. And definitely too, it's going to be just, you know, getting through the reverse and doing, you know, our absolute best, and then we'll get to a point of living that 80-20 lifestyle again, which is what our coach recommends. But definitely the reverse diet is honestly just even more important than the prep is itself, just for your hormones, and you just want to, you know, for the mental state of it. And I think that's also going to help us just doing this prep together and going through like the post show. But we both too know that we know how exhausted we are, and we just know that we're just gonna feel 10 times better, you know, no matter what we go through post show. We're just gonna remember how fatigued we were during this prep, because we have definitely been feeling it here recently.
I'll say yesterday, we quickly, all the food and stuff that we talk about that we're getting, it's very much wishful thinking, and it's just us being deep in prep, and we've planned out where we're eating, how much we're eating, all
like
this
last
stuff.
night we both got a burger, and then we were like, I mean,
we ate the burger, and not only did we feel full, we were like satisfied too,
Yeah.
where we didn't feel like we needed like a lot of other stuff or nothing like that. Now, of course, on that Sunday, are we going to enjoy the things that we want the most? Absolutely. We've been
Yeah.
in this for 20 weeks, and the video itself, people are going to look at it and be like, that's a lot of food. But at the end of the day, we get through that day of just enjoyment, and then, like we've talked about, the most excited thing the thing we're most excited for is Monday, Tuesday, enjoying foods that we've just kind of been waiting on, but also like healthy foods and kind of getting back on track of our calories, but not having like prep foods where we're
Right.
limited on a lot of sauces, and we can kind of experiment with different types of foods. And for myself, it's
Yeah.
making like protein pasta and different
Yeah, we're
things
gonna like
that.
on like Tuesday morning when we get back on track with like our macros, we're gonna make like some protein French toast. Like we're gonna go to Walmart the night that we get home and basically get a bunch of foods that are gonna be like macro friendly, stuff that we'll be able to eat and make still like good reverse diet meals with. And we're gonna try to like switch them up each night too, so it's not like the redundancy like prep is, but it's still like new stuff. And we're gonna have a lot of fresh fruit around the house and stuff like that too, just because I think that's a good thing to do like post show, is to have, if you feel like that food noise is so loud, like have things that you can kind of grab that aren't going to be like awful, like don't
We're
be
gonna try not to
eating a
get
whole
too much junk food.
yeah, don't be trying to eat like a whole jar of like peanut butter that's super fatty or something like that. Like go like if you feel like you need to binge or something, eat a whole watermelon or something. But yeah, we are definitely like, we change our minds all the time about what we want. But when we go to Michigan, we are going to a local bakery called Dom's on Friday, because like we said, at Louisville, when we step off stage, we're going to eat a buffin. And then in Michigan, when we step off stage, we don't have to worry about what we eat post-show. We probably will still steer free from the fried food
Cheese
and
food.
stuff like that. But we do plan to have like a donut when we get off stage in Michigan. Like I am big on Long John donuts, so I'm hoping that I find a really good like Long John donut.
Oh, we're forgetting.
Buckeye brownies.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say, the thing that we're gonna have whenever we first come off stage is we're gonna order just like 2 of the Buckeye brownies from people's reviews that we've seen. Have a couple bites of those. Go eat with friends and family.
Have a ghost.
Yeah, have an energy
Have an
drink.
energy drink.
Go eat with friends and family and our coach and some other people that's coming up. And then of course we'll have the Dom's Bakery, and then we're going to stop at Cinnabon and get cinnamon rolls, and then that.
And again, we say all this stuff, but like it will be like a few bites of each thing. Like we will not be able to, even like the Long John donut or the Buckeye brownie, like we probably won't be able to finish like a full thing of anything that we get. And our plan is, like, I know my plan is to take little bites of each thing, because I want to enjoy like a lot of different things. Definitely gonna be having
dinner.
I like, my plan is to fully enjoy like dinner that night. So even if it's just taking like 1 bite of the Buckeye brownie and 1 bite of the donut, and then having a ghost on the way to dinner, and then enjoying another big burger or steak, or because we don't know where we're going in Michigan after, because we'll probably go out to eat with our coach. But yeah, just enjoying that. Could be sushi. At that point, it doesn't matter what it is. We're gonna be like,
Yeah,
this is
it could be
amazing.
anything.
But I know for me, like, I'm just excited to be just in this position right here, like on June 8th and June 7th, and just like experience it with him. Just us just sitting here, like we did it. We did the 20 weeks. We made it through and didn't kill each other and had a good time.
We
And
almost have killed the dogs, but that's about it.
yeah, literally. But I mean, all in all, to say, we both are very thankful and can't thank God enough that, we've been injury free. We have, like, this prep has been 100% like where it could not have gone any smoother at all. I mean, this prep has been, and we've said this and we hate to like say it in a sense of it was easy, but it wasn't easy in a sense of like the work that had to be done or the boxes that had to be checked or the fatigue, but it was easy the way that our bodies like adjusted to prep and the response that Like, there hasn't been anything where it's like our coaches had to like really dig us down or anything. Like, everything has been linear and like very progressive, the way prep is supposed to be. So it's been easy in a sense of like how easy a prep can be.
I'll say we also make it easy for our coach, and this is one of the most important things that a lot of people, I don't know what they're doing in prep, to be honest. Maybe, you know, some people just don't have amazing coaches like we do, but everything has moved exactly how it's supposed to. Like, when our coach makes a change to the plan, he knows exactly what's going to happen, and it happens. And then we go through that week. And I will say, up until maybe 15 weeks out, you know, it was moving beautifully.
Yeah.
And then, you know, food changes had to start getting lower just because we're closing in on the show date. And that's when the fatigue sat in and everything that was expected. Like, no, there was never anything that was unexpected. You know, we talk like this just because we had a burger yesterday, but this past week was one of our most physically, like, demanding and mentally hard, you know, couple days that we've for sure had, where we're just like sitting there just completely out of it. And I feel like mentally,
I would say we both started from the beginning saying, you know, prep is a privilege. We, you know, going into prep, you know, you're choosing to do this, and that's another big thing is you, like, I can't tell you how many times this prep that I had to change my mindset, even when I was just doing a cardio session of like, you know, I chose to do this, embrace the suck. You know, the suckier you feel, probably the leaner your body is about to be getting, you know. And it is. Prep is a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to do this sport. You choose to do it when you sign up for a prep. And also, too, this is just my advice. If you are not willing to give 10 out of 10 each week to your coach, then don't do a bodybuilding prep.
Like, I mean, things have been, it does, like we've talked about, it like blows our mind. Like, we have tracked exactly how much food we're supposed to have, exactly like our coach says.
Even with traveling, we've had several traveling trips. You can't go into prep without the mentality that you're never going to have to change that 10 out of 10 for your coach, because your coach deserves that, and you also, you know, you deserve to show up for yourself. And also, too, if you're going to put yourself through prep, which isn't necessarily healthy, you might as well do it right, because, you know, if you're going to put, you can't be half in when you're doing a bodybuilding prep. Like, you can't do 50%, or, you know, I even have seen a lot of like TikToks of like, help, I had a binge cycle last night and I'm like, you know, 6 weeks out from my show. And like, to me, that's just like, you know, I don't think anybody who has it, like, I think they should drop out. You know, I think that at that point, like, you need to like reevaluate why you were doing the show to begin with. Because if you're, you know, 6 weeks away and your like mentality drops that much, then I think you need to like drop out, or, I mean, maybe not drop out, but reevaluate some things as to why
it's not going to get easier from there.
It's not. The 6 to 8 week mark is where, that's where it gets, prep gets tough for sure.
Like I was going to say, doing, like, not being 100%, we've talked about, you know, showing up on show day and you not getting the result maybe that you want. As long as you put 110% or 100% into prep itself and never had anything off, and you know that mentally you're like, I put my all into this prep, at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do differently.
Right.
But if you show up on show day and, you know, maybe you binge, or maybe you weren't tracking stuff right, or
lied to your coach and said that you did all the cardio, or, you know, ate all the meals, you know.
I was about to say, took those cardio sessions where I don't want to get my heart rate up today, I just want to get through this. It's going to start showing, and you're going to be disappointed in yourself whenever you come on show
And
day.
Also, in my opinion, if you make it through a 16, 20 week, whatever, bodybuilding prep, and you did give your coach a 10 out of 10, and you can 100% say that you know, made it through that prep, you are a winner. No matter what the results are of the show, maybe you don't have great posing just because you were really nervous that day and it was your first show, please know that if you make it through a bodybuilding prep, that the mental just capacity that it takes to get through one of these it's tough. It's not easy, and especially if you do it alone, you are a winner. So if you're somebody who maybe just went through a show and maybe didn't walk away with a medal or something, I promise you are a winner.
I'll say from the mental aspect of even just going through a prep, like, you come out so much stronger, I think. mentally and just like your determination side of everything, you quickly realize that there's not a lot of things in life that can happen that's going to be harder than prep. Like you're putting
Right.
yourself through something difficult to make yourself uncomfortable, to make, you know, things in the past that maybe seemed hard easier, and it just
Right.
makes the whole process a lot better.
Hang on, Sarah's texting me, my sister.
So cut this.
Yeah, we can finish. But all in all, this has been an amazing experience for Cole and I. You know, people definitely, I think, were like, which a lot of people, especially in our hometown, have no idea like what a bodybuilding prep is and what all it necessarily takes. Most people just think that we're starving ourselves and that we're not eating any carbs. Like literally today, somebody at the gym was like, I could never do what you guys do. I could never cut carbs. And I kind of felt bad because I definitely kind of had like a prep like I don't know, I was just very quick-witted to be like, we don't cut carbs. Like literally I'm over 100 carbs daily, and have a high carb day weekly. He's over 100 carbs. Like people just have this common misconception. They think we're starving. Like yes, there are times that we're like really hungry, but we're eating 6 meals a day. Like, you know, it's so crazy to us because where we do live in a small town that is literally considered a village, there is like the two of us are like bodybuilders, and then we have a friend that's a bodybuilder, and that's about it in our hometown. Like 3 of us.
Like they take it seriously in
Yeah.
the sense of competing and everything like that.
Yeah, so, and it's just like people really don't understand. And it's not like we get mad at them. It's just something that it's very hard for us to always have to explain things, you know, at work. Like Cole has to do it to his coworkers all the time of like, you mean you can't eat that? And like I've even had to do it too, where somebody was like, you know, I said something one time about having a burger, and like somebody was very like kind of like passive aggressive in a way, like saying like, you can have a burger, and it's like
we ate ground beef the entire
yes, I can have like
time.
So it is hard when people like make comments like that, and especially too when people say bodybuilding isn't healthy, and like as they're sitting there eating their McDonald's for the 8th day in a row, like, and it's just like
that might be me post show.
maybe we will say too, like if I showed you guys our like Instagram and TikTok messages right now, it's literally just people pulling apart.
I get cinnamon rolls, about 5 TikToks just back to back.
Yeah, like literally it's just like a bunch of, oh my gosh, pull apart like cinnamon roll videos, and like literally stuff.
The most iconic
Just the most
peanut butter
ridiculous stuff in the
chocolate
world.
breakfast. It starts with layers of waffles, peanut butter, Nutella.
But yeah, we are very excited for Michigan for the post-show breakfast, and I think that'll kind of just be a reflection breakfast for the both of us, just to sit there and be like, wow, we did that. But anyway, that is
Giveaway.
the camera's about to die. Yeah.
We can do another clip.
I'll just, if it dies, it dies. But there's a giveaway posted on my Instagram page. I'm posting a video on TikTok today as well. You guys can go look at all the details. It is a huge $400 value giveaway of Hummus Fit, Accent Sledge, and Legion, just because we appreciate your guys' support so much throughout this prep. So you guys can go on there, find all the details on the TikTok video or the Instagram post. But that will be the end of this video because my camera is about to die. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other questions about prep or anything else, let us know. There will be peak week YouTube videos, TikTok, videos. We will keep you guys updated as much as we can on these shows, but we 100% appreciate your guys' support.